How's your day?
It's been a pretty decent day. I didn't have to work today, so I got to sleep in, went and got some sushi
Hell
for
yeah.
lunch, and then
Hell
just
yeah.
jammed a whole bunch of old soul leading up to this.
Hell yeah. Did you get I'm sorry. I'm literally I'm like the only one who does anything. So I'm like all over the place. I'm so sorry. You got the single, right?
Yes, I did get the single. Thank you so much for sending that.
Do you hate it?
You know, it's gonna be a rough conversation to talk about it, I
Oh
think.
crap. Well, I'm cool with it. Like any promotion is good promotion. So you can be like, this song sucks. And I'll be like, cool.
No, I think it's a great song. I'm really stoked on it. I am very curious to see what that next single's going to be like because I think you posted that
Totally different.
it's different. So I'm really stoked to
Oh,
see how this comes out.
it's so funny. We're like, I mean, we'll talk more obviously, but we've always been like full album people. Like we've really rarely put out like singles or like, so it's kind of weird to like be in this day and age where like you have to like have something, and I'm like,
Right.
oh, like I don't like that. Don't rush me.
And then what I'll do here is I'll count us down. We'll crack our drinks, and then I'll do a little intro, bring the two of you in, and we'll just have a good time.
Word.
All right, cool. All right, in three, two, one. Welcome to the Beers with Bands podcast with your host, Michael Torres. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers with Bands. Very stoked to be sitting down with this band today. I'm sitting down with Old Soul. How y'all doing?
Good.
Pretty good.
Chilling.
Dude, it's a Monday. Doesn't feel like a Monday, so I think it's always a great time. And plus, I'm going to be sitting down with y'all talking about your band, so it's gonna be a good time. For people that aren't aware of Old Soul, y'all are like a rock, indie rock band based out of Boston, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
You guys have been rocking for quite a while, so I'm
Oh
stoked to talk
yeah.
about everything that's. And I mean, I think this year you hit 10 years as a band, at least depending on when the first release. I mean, I think the first release EP came out October 2015, so probably a little bit predates that, but still,
I
like, it's
would
kind of
say like
crazy.
our band like started, yeah, in 2015, but like it actually started in like 2017. You know,
But still,
ew, 10 years.
that's still like such a crazy milestone.
I know. It means we're getting old.
Well, like
Cheers.
Yeah.
what's the secret? Getting right off the bat, like what's the secret to keeping the band together for all this time? I know a lot of bands, sometimes will hit a 5 year mark, and that's a big accomplishment on its own. But to see bands kind of hit this 10 year mark that aren't like Green Day or Metallica that are getting paid millions of dollars to stay together, what keeps
We
you guys
are
together?
the millions
What's
of dollars.
Mm.
I would say finding someone that you collaborate well with. Honestly, like I just think it's just easy to work with Tom. We've had different lineups over the years, just based on, different things and people's schedules and whatever. But I think in general, like just find somebody that it's maybe not easy to work with, but somebody that challenges you and makes you want to keep doing it. So hard to find.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's easy to work together at all. It's always hard. Maybe just stubbornness.
That's fine. Tom and I are opposite, so it works out. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we're great together. And he's like, no, we're not.
It's always kind of hard to
Yeah,
work on stuff, um, go through the process of making music. Um,
especially when everybody has different ideas.
Right. But I
mhm.
mean, at the end of the day, it's always been pretty much the core dynamic duo of you two. With like you said,
Right.
we have different members come in and out depending on what's going on in that era of Old Soul. But do you feel like it kind
Well,
of? Sorry, go ahead, Tom.
we used to be more of a band, um, and as we lost members, became more of a we kind of became the two core members as we cycled through members. Um, so that's just how that came about. And yeah,
Songwriters,
now
you
we
know.
yeah.
Do you feel like it's kind of gotten easier along the way? Just obviously, it's hard to see people go, but at the end of the day, with it just being two people to kind of make decisions based off of, like, compared to four or five, do you feel like it's at least a little bit easier at the end of the day with the new stuff going on?
I don't know if it's
Um,
easier. Yeah,
in some
I don't
ways,
know.
there are just fewer factors involved. Um,
I mean, we love our team right now. We're literally all like besties, like literally all best friends for years and have known each other. So it's nice. I don't like personally don't like yeah, Tom and I are the core members, but I don't like, you know, everyone who's involved right now is pretty permanent. Just I feel like Tom and I are mostly the minds, if you will,
Mm,
behind the music.
that makes sense. Um, obviously you two are here. I do want to kind of give a quick shout out to, everyone else that is kind of working on this stuff behind the scenes with you guys. How we kind of mentioned Justin earlier. They kind of set
Hell
this
yeah,
up, kind of got the ball rolling back in December, so we could get
he's
this
the
going.
man.
Um, who else is kind of behind the scenes right now, as underneath the Old Soul team umbrella?
We got Dan Sweeney on bass. We got Cam Chapdelaine on second lead guitar. And yeah, I mean, then we got Counterintuitive, our record label, who obviously helps us behind the scenes. And then we have our bestie Pat from Save the Cat Touring, who has alleviated all of our stresses of booking at all, which is, the part that I enjoyed the least over the years. You know.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's always good when you can find someone that can kind of come in and do at least the booking part. I remember the days that we would tour, just watching our lead guitarist like just stress for like 3 months leading up to
That
it,
was
just trying to
Tom.
find everything out. Like it's such a brutal thing to watch
yeah.
Talking
someone
to
go
too
through.
talking to too many people, just too
Yeah.
many. I mean, I love people, but it just it's chaos.
And
Especially when
we also have uh, our friend Zach Weeks, who
yes,
um, has made the last two albums with us,
yep,
and he played bass on one of the singles coming out, as well as mixing and engineering it.
Zach is a member of Old Soul, whether he knows it or not. But yeah, he's done a lot for us too.
Mhm.
Way too much.
The
Uh,
right amount.
yeah.
The right amount.
Speaking of singles, obviously, the reason y'all are here today is you have some new stuff coming out this year. The first single,
Yeah,
dropped June 24th, which is the first release since your 2023 LP, Education on Earth. Um, People have been waiting solid almost a year and a half now for this to come out.
hmm
Like it's such a good single. I feel like to kind of follow up that record. It's been fun today to just kind of hit repeat and just kind of go back through it. It's catchy. It
It's a
hits on
goofy
all
one.
levels. Yeah, it's
It's a
nice.
goofy one.
It's nice. Like, how does it feel finally getting something out after this kind of like waiting period? Obviously, we'll talk about like the restructuring of how modern day releases, but like, how does it feel to finally get
Oh,
this out?
so good, so good.
Good.
Been a while. We're writing now too, but Tom and I are slow cookers, like it's hard to keep up with like the pump and dump of everything. Not to put I don't mean to put everybody's, art into that category obviously, but it's a lot when, Tom and I like to write whole collections of music and put uh, a lot of like I don't know thought behind it. I mean, I don't know how to say that because like you can write a song really fast and it's thoughtful, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, especially we kind of see it on Education and on Earth, where it's like this big dynamic. I mean, it's a full LP. I can't remember
Hmm
exactly how many tracks were on it, but like it's it's a full album. It's a full, sit down 40-minute listen to, which is also great, by the way. If anyone's listening, please go check that out as well. But like I know what you're saying, where some bands uh can just really pump out like an EP real quick and like get something out. While it might not have this full like storyline or something to grasp you throughout the whole thing, it's still a cohesive record. But
Yeah, it doesn't matter
yeah,
why you write music.
but to have like something big and dynamic, like I know a few other people too that like it takes them a while to get the record out, just because it's like we want to put out, one, our best, but two, like there's so much that goes into it where it's just we can't just turn it around so quick.
Right.
And I still love those albums, because the ones that when they finally come out, you've been itching, waiting for them for so long, and that they hit
Right.
on a whole nother level.
Or they don't. Just kidding, just kidding. Kind of.
But yeah, told you so. It's I think it's one of two singles that are going to kind of hold us over in this time period. But
Yeah.
it's such a good song right off the bat.
Thank you.
You kind of, all the little things that are kind of happening and being told in it, like you're kind of getting followed, almost like an alien abduction at the beginning, and then kind of feels for it, and then just everything else that happens along the way is just a very good track to kind of, I feel like, hold us over until this next track comes out, which I want to talk about here in a little bit as well. But like, how did these two songs kind of come about outside of like what you guys are writing behind the scenes?
Tom and I
Uh,
wrote two different songs. I would say we both added, like, I mean, we contributed to both of them, but Tom and I had two different, very different song ideas, and we just wanted to get some music out there. So we picked, I think, our two best ideas and worked on those. Um, just because, like, they didn't seem to have like a place in anything. You know what I mean? They just
Hmm.
kind of came out. What do you think, Tom?
um, uh, yeah. How did the songs come about? Um, yeah, it was just what we had. Um, we always have some demos going, and these were two we chose that were the most finished. I
And we
mean,
like them the best.
hmm
Uh,
But yeah,
and like we kind of mentioned earlier, it's in this new day and age, releasing singles is, for a lot of people, the kind of the way to go, whether it's, release a single every few months, or some people that are still on the Die Hard track, which I appreciate,
right,
of releasing a couple singles, then leading into like an EP or an LP, and then continuing that mentality. That's how we kind of all grew up with, was, we get singles leading up to a release, and that's our bread and butter. But now you guys kind of obviously putting these out and kind of having to shift your mentality a little bit with doing singles rather than leading into like a full LP right away or anything like
right.
that. Like, what was the biggest hurdle to like get yourselves comfortable to do this release?
I don't know. I think I more kind of like, I mean, Tom, you can correct me, but I think I kind of pushed it on Tom because it had been a while and I was like, we got to get some more stuff out there, like I feel like we just need to stay fresh in people's minds. You know, so while we're working on the bigger picture or the, collection of whatever EP album, I don't know what we're doing yet, but yeah, no, it's just it's whack. Like it's just so weird to just put out one song. Like I don't care if other people do it. There's no, like I said, there's no right or wrong way. But like me, like I just feel weird, like not having like, all right, cool. Here's the big shebang. Like right after it. Not that the song isn't the big shebang, but I don't know. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel that, because like I don't mind people that put out singles. Some of the singles that I've listened to in the past couple of years have been phenomenal.
Fantastic.
But then like I get so caught up in that single where I want like the follow up, like I want that part two. I
Right.
want to continue that same sound, but then the band will
Right.
put out a single that sounds completely different, kind of like what you guys are about to do, but that's totally fine. Nothing against it.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like it doesn't, nothing matters. Like
Yeah. But it's just so hard as like we're coming into this. We're like, you want that cohesiveness, and it's nice sometimes where we do have that differentiation in like singles, like we're going to see with you guys, which I really am very curious to see what that second single is going to be like, because I know everything you've been posting so far is that you're hinting at it that it's completely different. Um, from you two. So like I'm really stoked to kind of see what that one's going to be like as well.
like if Kate Bush did like emo music. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Emo's just like a buzzword at this point, I think. Old Soul's an emo band, but we're not, you know. I just call us a rock band at this point because it's easier. It's the
Yeah.
easiest. We are a rock band. Um, but I don't know, Tom, what do you like? I feel like even though the two songs are like they're not like meant to be together, they somehow all the music Tom and I end up writing together like comes together. It's weird. Education on Earth was kind of like I don't want to call it a mess, but like it was like very a very scattered album. We didn't know what we were doing, like if how these songs would form together, and then all of a sudden we were just like, oh my God, this actually works really well. Like together, all of it. So I could ramble
Yeah, I
forever
mean,
though.
you record and produce out songs together. It can kind of just there's a cohesiveness just in the sound of the production, I think.
Yeah, and I think like, you said Tom and I, we've been in this band together for quite some time. I feel like we kind of understand like what each other would might like and to see in something. So when we write something, we sometimes, keep each other in mind.
Hmm.
Right?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to get stuff out most of the time.
Hard to force yourself to do anything though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice when it just comes to you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, and then I obviously Told You So came out June 24th. Like, this episode comes out a little bit after that. Like, when can we expect? Do you have an idea as to like when that next single is gonna possibly be dropping for everyone?
July?
Yeah. Yeah, a few weeks after tour.
Nice.
So, yeah, soon.
Hell yeah. Speaking of tour, I know you guys have a pretty good one lined up for June.
Yeah.
Running out to Pugfest and a few extra days in there as well with spending days with bottom bracket clipboards, pretty bitter and magazine
Let's go,
beef.
let's go, let's
Like,
go, let's go.
dude, just stacked on stacked on stacked. Like that's gonna
Right?
be crazy. Like everyone that's able to go to those shows, they better fucking go to those shows because
That's what I'm
I'm not there,
saying.
so you guys all have to go for it.
Yeah, we don't tour so much, so come out. Come on.
Where do you live? Do you live in
I'm
Philly too?
I'm in Minneapolis.
Oh.
That's not Philly.
Have we played in Minneapolis? I think
No,
once.
no, we've
Are you
never been
sure?
there. Yes, we've been to Missouri.
I played at Minneapolis at one point.
I don't remember. When you're in a band for 10 years, everything just
It's just
you
a
just
blur.
die. Yeah, everything's a blur. But I don't think we've played in Minneapolis, no. Maybe you did with SP.
Mm.
Maybe.
That's cool though. I heard it's a great city.
It's a phenomenal city. A lot of good music is going on here right now.
It's
Um,
young,
yeah, it's
got a
young.
young crowd.
But I mean, these kids will come out and pack out a show. It's pretty amazing to see. So
Well, yeah, like what else?
Mm.
What else can you do under 21? Like in like I, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it stinks when like there's only bars in an area and there's not like, a local scene or like venues that like let like, high schoolers and younger college students in, why does it always have to be like, based around, not, I mean, I know this is beers with bands, but like, why does it always have to be like based around like, alcohol? Like, why can't
Right.
like an 18-year-old want to go see their, you know what I mean? Like, but anyways, that's awesome. I want to go to Minneapolis one day.
Yeah, hopefully we get Old Soul out this way. I think you guys would have a great time out here as well.
Mm.
Um, but with this tour coming up, like who talked to who? How did you like? Obviously, we talked about Save the Cat kind of helps so with the touring was like was the intention to kind of stack out some of these shows with some other great bands to kind of be on the road with, or did that just kind of fall into place how the everything does?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, Pat orchestrated the whole thing. Pat has all the connections. I mean, we like all of these bands, and I don't think we had like a plan of like who yet, but then Pat was like, wait a second, I have an idea. And then boom. So I think like a lot of things like crossed over, like all of these bands are like, we're gonna do stuff around this time, around this area. And it's like, why don't we all just come together? Because we're all Save the Cat, So
Right.
no, it's awesome. Yeah. I have nothing to do with any of this. It was all Pat. So I'm glad it worked out though. Pretty Bitter just put out a really, really awesome single. I love anything that has like banjo in it. So sick. Anyways,
Yeah, it's always cool seeing banjo show up in something. Like I know I talked to I think Farseek last year, and they have banjo that shows up pretty well on their album. Obviously, you guys had horns on your last full length. Anytime like those unintentional things show up on like a rock or emo album, and they're done super well, like it always blows those songs like out of the
yeah,
water. It's so sick.
so sick. Tom plays pedal steel now, and there's some pedal steel hints of it on these two songs. It's more of like a texture, I would
Mm.
say, but you can hear it, and hopefully, I think moving forward, we're gonna probably experiment more with that because he's getting pretty good at it. So,
Mm.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you do any other crazy instrumentals, Tom, that you add into these records?
Uh, I
you
let's
did
see.
sax once.
We've had saxophone on stuff,
That you did,
different
right?
different key instruments. Uh,
We
anything
had a
else?
straight. We had strings on.
Oh yeah, we
You
had
were
some
overwhelmed,
strings, some kind of janky strings.
but it was
Uh,
awesome.
yeah.
What else have we used? I mean, Zach experiments with like his tape machine, on our last record. We did some like analog stuff. I don't know. Nothing like too crazy, but Tom plays like sax and like pedal steel. You do everything. You're so good at everything, dude. Drums.
Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. And then there's me.
Hmm.
Nonsense, Jess. You're so good. Thanks, Tom. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're good. You kill it every time. Do you play in a band?
No, so I don't play in a band. I was always behind the scenes. I always did like TMing and driving the van and doing merch. Um,
Yeah.
I used to, basically just for like some friends that I went to high school with. So did a few tours in my time, but nothing too crazy.
Nice.
That's fun though.
Yeah,
Hang out with your friends. Those are the best people
yeah,
to go on tour with.
exactly. Like it was always good times. Like that's the thing that I miss is just living in the van with my best friends for 3 to 4 weeks at a time, and like I almost learned bass once, and then we ended up not needing me. So I was like, okay, I'll just go back to no responsibilities, just making sure we get to where we got to go.
Perfect. I mean, that's a lot of responsibility actually, but
Yeah,
I would say that's essential.
Mm.
but yeah, it was always a good time, and becoming band dad is always a prestigious spot to get to, but it's
Right,
fun when you get there.
right.
Um, so obviously we kind of been talking about this next single when it drops in July. Uh, do you, what's it called, and what should people be expecting get out of this next single compared to "Told You So"?
It's called Locate. Um, I think wrote it about sort of indirectly about um, a student at school uh, who was having a difficult time with. Um, and then just kind of trying to imagine the kid's perspective. And then kind of just extrapolating, orbiting out from there. Um, and then played around with a different tuning that don't normally play in. Um, and yeah, just made a song. It sounds a little bit different from other things we do.
I think comparatively so, like to Told You So. That one kind of has like that like high energy, like Christmas caroly type vibe. And then like this one is kind of the come down from that high, that dynamic in my opinion. So
Mm.
like it's very contrasting, comparatively. So like, cause like told you, I was like, ah, da, 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 the whole time. And then like, kind of like this one's a little more like inquisitive and like, kind of like takes your hand and brings you along on this journey kind of feel. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Interesting.
Tom and I don't like to talk about what our songs are about. Not in like the bad, like a mean way, but like we like when people
Like in a
interpret
good way.
in a good way. Yeah, no, but we like when people interpret our music how they want to interpret it, you know what I mean? Because there's just so much that it could be about, right?
Right.
Like it's, and I get embarrassed talking about my feelings. Like I could talk forever, but if I start talking about what my songs are about, I get embarrassed. Like right now.
I mean, it's like I feel like there's also those moments though too that like people listening are wanting to kind of, while they might have like their deeper meaning to the song or like what they think the song's about, it's always interesting to just kind of see like what your actual thoughts were of like
Right,
what the main story was behind it, and kind of how everyone, it does get kind of crazy how like everyone relates to something completely differently,
right,
whether that song's about it or not. Like I remember listening to like a counterpart song, and I took it as like this, like most emo guys, like this a song about a girl, but turns out after doing a little research, like it was really like a song to his grandfather who was going through like Alzheimer's and stuff
right.
like that. It's like holy shit, like not even on the right track, but like I see it in both lights now when I listen to that song.
Right. Yeah, that's the cool part. I'm like, like Tom, for example, like when he presented his song idea for Locate to me, I, didn't interpret it like that at all. Like I'm, it's not my student that I'm watching do. I'm like, oh wow, that sounds like somebody's like, really unsure about the future, maybe like someone's like their relationship or something. So I tried to figure out like what I would interpret it as, as the person who didn't like start the song idea, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Um, no, it's a beautiful song. I'm really excited about that one. It really showcases a lot of different things that we can do as a band. Whether or not we'll play it, we'll see. But
Mm. Yeah, it's also a hard song to play.
Like, what
We
makes
need
it?
another guitar player. No, just
Oh,
kidding.
okay.
No, no, just kidding. Just kidding. We don't need another guitar player. Four.
Is that just what makes
So,
it a harder song to play? Just because there's so much packed into it that like you would need a kind of like a more of a bigger like ensemble to put it together.
I don't even think it's just that. I think it's just like the
Um,
tuning, right? Like it's
Hmm.
like just like kind of like how our
yeah,
set
that's one
works.
thing. It's a different tuning. I feel like it's kind of a studio song. Um,
Yeah, because
Meaning
we watch our
um, there's a lot of just kind of
texture.
production moves that would be hard to imitate live. Um, it just wouldn't land the same way.
Hmm.
I agree with that. I think we could figure it out,
Some
but
of
I
the,
think like
yeah, it'd just be different.
yeah. Which is cool though, because I think
Kind of
like
fun.
one of my favorite things is like when I see my bands that I've listened to a million times and they play a song differently, or change a key or like add this like weird part to it. So like it could be cool. We'll figure it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
the song's sick.
Bob
Uh,
Dylan changes his live songs every few years. There should be more artists that totally change their songs like that. I like that.
Is Old Soul the next Bob Dylan?
right. I think we just heard it here.
Yeah. Just kidding. That's home is where right now. I won't take that from them. Sorry, y'all, if you're listening to this. It's funny.
Um, but yeah, so I'm very stoked to listen to that song also when it drops, like as the follow up to "Told You So," and hopefully everyone else can finds it and connects with it in their own way and loves it as well. Is there anything that I might have missed? As we're kind of jumping around between "Told You So" or Old Soul" at the moment that you want the people to know about?
We're going on tour. We're releasing two singles that have nothing to do with a bigger cohesive idea. We have actually, never mind. That's about it right now. There's more stuff coming. There's more stuff coming, but nothing I can discuss right now. But yeah, no, we're just writing, you know. It's it takes us a little bit, but it'll be good. We promise. We promise we'll satiate people more after these two singles.
Do you guys have like a date in mind as or a deadline in mind for this next release?
I don't know, Tom, should we talk about that?
The two songs.
No, more stuff.
Oh, no idea.
Yeah, I don't think we have a date, but there's definitely stuff in the works. Um, we I think we've been focusing on a couple of other things. So it's been, at least for me personally, I haven't been able to sit down and really write, but I'm looking forward to in a few weeks when I have some time.
And then I think one thing you forgot to mention is I saw that Counterintuitive now has tapes for
Oh yeah.
Education on Earth, and I don't want to butcher the other release.
You were overwhelmed?
Yep, and I think you'll have those on tour this year, and then they should have those in the
Hopefully.
store. Yeah, and then get them online as well. I think you guys still have vinyl out as well when I was checking today, so
Yeah.
make
Yeah,
sure you
we
get
have
that.
we have a bunch of stuff on the CI Rex store. We have some stuff that isn't on the store that we'll have on tour with us. And then yeah, they just put two of our records on tape, which is really awesome. I think they might be putting Koi on tape as well, which will be awesome. Yeah, no, we have a really good team.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Counterintuitive is obviously everyone knows and loves counterintuitive, but to see the the dedication that they put into the bands that they're working with. Like I think that's one thing that kind of solidifies them as like a really great uh, DIY kind of still label. Obviously, they kind of just they opened that storefront within the last year, which is an amazing feat to do. But I
It's
think
beautiful. It's
I,
awesome. If anyone's in
I've
Boston or Brookline, you should go check it out.
yeah, I hope to get out to check it out one of these days. But it's to see that the stuff that they're doing for everyone is just so sick.
Yeah, it's a cool store.
It's cool
Video
stuff.
games too.
Yep. And you can play the Rock Band DLC that us, Mom Jeans, and Prince Daddy are on, and you can go right in the store and you can play it. Cool.
It's it's crazy to think that you're in Rock Band, right? Like
Right? I can't
Yeah,
believe it either. I used to like,
that is
I used
crazy.
to like play it religiously. Like, Guitar Hero 2, and I used to find all of my favorite bands and then expanded from there, and to just be like, oh yeah, you can play Old Soul on Rock Band. It's weird.
when that
So cool.
process happened, do like did you get to pick the song that kind of went in there, and like how did you decide, like if you did, like how did you decide which song was going to solidify Old Soul in Rock Band?
Didn't Jake pick like no surprise, like he told us, like he gave us like I think he gave us two choices. I don't remember, or like what his idea was. Do you remember, Tom?
No, no, we chose it.
We
Um,
chose it. Okay.
he he had a connection to Harmonix somehow, and Harmonix wanted to do some DLC packages with smaller record labels. Um, and yeah, he just asked us what song we might want for that.
That one's
We
kind of
felt
like I
like
feel
that
like
one was a good one for, felt like it was a good one for Rock Band.
so many
And
different
the parts
parts.
were distinctive enough that would work and
Yeah,
active
when
enough.
right. Yeah, exactly. And like the vocal lines, the drums, the guitars. I feel like if you played that song, even if you didn't know us, you wouldn't be like bored playing it, even if you didn't like the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Which you would love the song because everybody loves Old Soul.
many are saying this.
Many are saying this, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
But yeah, many are saying they love Old Soul. I know when you kind of posted, kind of going through everything, you started posting about the singles. Everyone's been very attentive, and I think there's been a lot of love shown for these
I
coming up,
know.
which has been really nice to see. And I hope everyone enjoys "Told You So" as much as I did listening to it today on repeat.
Thank you.
Um, as we start to kind of wind down, uh, I kind of always end off on with my infamous question of just like good vibes to kind of end off the episodes of these. So my final question for the two of you is: from your time in Old Soul, I know it's been
Mm.
a few years in the making, but what has been like one of your favorite moments that you've gotten to experience so far?
Oh man, there's so many. I just love this band so much, and the people we've met, and the places we've seen. I'm trying to think. Tom, if you know off the top of your head, go ahead.
Um, I don't know. It's hard to think of what.
Oh, I know.
Um, in the beginning, playing shows was the best, and in the beginning, touring was fun. Um, and then more lately, like the most meaningful part has just been the recording process of making albums.
I agree with all of that. I think if we're gonna like talk about like a specific time in Old Soul's life, so we did a tour a long time ago where in like I think it was 2018 where we toured to South by Southwest. I know we don't like them anymore. It's fine. We hate everybody. I agree. Everyone sucks. But anyways, but we went to South by and we played a bunch of unofficial showcases with a bunch of different bands on our label and beyond. And we stayed at an Airbnb with like literally all of them. It was crazy. Too many stories to tell. But I think for me, that was one of the highlights of being in this band was that whole experience of just like meeting all those friends that we have now and being at South by and playing and I don't know, the unofficial showcases are where it's at if you're gonna do it. You know, it's just a vibe. At least it was when we played in 2018. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of crazy how that whole vibe of South by just very much changed over the last few years. Because yeah, for the longest time, it was like if you can get down there and play like these unofficial showcases or anything like that, like it's the hot spot to kind of be. And then corporate America really ruins a lot of things
I
with
know.
a few things peppered in there. But at least you got to experience it like in its, I think in like its prime.
Right. I mean, it's hard because like when you're a musician, it really depends on like why you're doing music, what you're doing it for, and like there's no right answer to that for the most part. And I feel like, you get to a point in your career where it's like you make these decisions like, well, like kind of like with Warped Tour and stuff, right? Like well, X and Y, but also Z, right? Kind of, I mean, it really depends on the situation and whatever, but like, it's hard when you get to that point in it's your career because you want to stay like to your roots and you love the community aspect and you're not doing it for money, you're like hopefully, but like, it does get to a point where it's like, well, you need kind of something like, to
Right.
boost you if you're going to continue to do it at that capacity, right? So it's hard. Everything's hard. You're always judged. Doesn't matter what you do.
Uh, but at the end of the day, go listen to Old Soul. Everyone loves Old
Yeah.
Soul.
Let's
Uh,
go.
if you get a chance to catch them on that, their summer tour with Bottom Bracket, Clipboards, Pretty Bitter, and Magazine Beach. Please, by all means, go to those shows because I won't be there, so you all have to go for me so I can live vicariously through all of you and report back and tell us how great of a show it was for each stop. And also, Pugfest 3, that lineup is so stacked.
Thick.
Like, that's incredible. That's going to be just a
Also,
whirlwind inside.
Charmer, Sweet Pill, Old Soul. Mm.
If anyone's looking for merch, music, or old soul in general, where can they find it?
In real life or at the
You can even come to
counterintuitive
us.
web store or at the counterintuitive physical store in Brookline, Massachusetts.
You can buy the
Or
music on Counterintuitive. I think that's it.
or you can feed the beast and you can stream us on every single streaming platform that exists. Yep.
Yep. So depending on where you found this episode, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, or you watch the YouTube version, you got to see their lovely faces like I did today. Check the hyperlinks down below. Go follow Old Soul on all the platforms. Be ready for new music, new tours. Go get your merch. The links are all there. But at the end of the day, just go listen to Old Soul. Go listen to Told You So, and just be ready for everything coming next. Uh, Jess, Tom, one last big thank you to the two of you for taking time out of your Monday to sit down with me and talk about your band.
Oh my God, you too. Thank you so much, Michael. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
I'm very
Yeah,
happy that we
thank
got to
you.
finally do one of these. We'll have to do another one in the future at some point as well.
Yeah.
You all are always welcome back on.
Thank you. Shout out Justin, shout out
Thank
Dan,
you.
shout out Cam, shout out Pat, shout out Jake.
But like I said, everyone go listen to Old Soul, and I'll catch everyone on the next episode. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.
Beers with Bears.